Hey guys, so today I'm going to be talking about my experience in high school, coming out as gay and then trans, and just the overall process of what each year looked like. And at the end of the video, I'm going to have my best friend, China, come on and just give you guys a little feedback on how she experienced me in high school and maybe a little bit about her experience at high school as well. If you guys aren't subscribed yet, please do so down below. You'll find the big red subscribe button. And then while you're down there, go ahead and click that little bell icon to get notified every time I upload a new video. Without further ado, let's get started with today's video. So, starting off with a progression of my high school experience. Freshman year, I came out as gay. I had done it through the summer. All my friends had known, so everyone that was close to me had already been exposed to that aspect of my life, causing freshman year to be pretty easy breezy. The only experience that was really negative freshman year of high school for me was there was this one kid from middle school who liked to call me but that kid fortunately transferred schools within 3 months of that first school year. So past that, I didn't really experience any slandering. Maybe online there was some stuff, and of course, people talk behind your back, but nothing ever really came to me directly, which was kind of amazing. Freshman year marked one of the most important milestones in my life. That Halloween, I actually cross-dressed for the first time, which led me down the rabbit hole of finally figuring out who I am and coming out. After cross-dressing for the first time, I slowly developed a love for makeup and hair and nails and eventually women's fashion. So that school year was really me exploring those aspects of myself. My father wasn't the biggest fan of me wearing certain things to school, so the limit that I had freshman year was eyeshadow and nail polish. I went to school almost every day with a full face of makeup. I mean, what I would consider a full face of makeup then, which definitely does not meet the criteria of today's, but I was feeling myself. I had a few eyeshadow palettes that were just over $1, and it would always be bright white, a copper, and a dark brown, like a rich chocolatey brown on the outside. And they were all slightly shimmer shades, but everyone complimented me. Something else really amazing that happened during freshman year was I actually went to my first ever prom. Now, freshmen aren't allowed to go to prom typically, but I was friends with a big group of seniors during my freshman year, which was kind of sad because basically I made all these friends and then they left. But with time, I made new friends. One of my friends invited me to go, and I decided I would wear a dress. And I picked out this beautiful color block, black and red dress, skin tight, which honestly isn't the most flattering on my body shape. I went to this prom. It was at this beautiful venue, and I had the best time of my life. No one cared, no one stared, no one questioned anything. I went in and out of the women's bathroom and just enjoyed myself. Danced how I wanted to. I literally danced like nobody was watching. And honestly, it was one of the most special moments of my entire high school experience. Not only being felt so important to someone for them to not even take a date and to take me instead, but to simply be able to be myself in a public forum at a place where everyone technically knew who I was and that my gender did not align with my appearance. So that was freshman year, which kind of leads me into sophomore year. I went to a lot of additional dances. Actually, sophomore year was the only year I didn't go to prom, but we had the whiteout dance, I can't even remember the names of all of them. High school feels like a distant memory, but I had this beautiful asymmetrical dress that I wore, and I went with a few of my friends were there, but I went with one specifically, and it was kind of funny. I probably shouldn't say this, but I was wearing this tube top dress that did not hug my shoulders like this one. It just simply hugged around my chest and my non-existent bosoms. So for now. So I actually was dancing the night away and it fell. I pretty much gave everyone a quote unquote gender reveal party in that moment. It was kind of embarrassing, but I looked down, I saw it, I didn't know how long it had been down. I pull it up, and from what I could tell, no one had seen. That year also had quite a few significant memories. My best friend at the time and I were longing to start a club that helped students see that they're not alone. So we actually reached out to one of our teachers who happens to be gay, and she said that she had actually been reserving money from a club that they used to have to be able to fund starting the club up again. And so me and my best friend petitioned to have a GSA, which is a Gay Straight Alliance Club, reunited into the school. It had been 7 years since the school had had one, and it was long overdue. Our school had a wide variety of LGBTQIA+ students, many of which I was friends with, including fellow trans individuals and non-binary, which honestly, going to school, not being the only one, made things so much easier for me. None of them were very loud about being trans, but they definitely were themselves, which I commend. Junior year of high school was kind of the turning point. I had already dove into wearing women's tops sophomore year and makeup throughout both the years, and hair was growing. I looked like a hot mess trying to grow out my hair, but that's the process of letting it grow. I decided it was time for me to say goodbye to my quote unquote old self, and I got rid of all of my clothes. I gifted most of it to my siblings. I let them take their first dig, and then the rest of it went to someone else who needed it more than me. Along with that, since I had emptied my wardrobe, what was I gonna do? How was I gonna refill it, right? I ended up actually starting to work that year. It wasn't very much work, but it was just enough to help me finance some new clothing. I went to a few different stores. I kind of explained this whole process on my other video called How to Get Your Dad to Let You Wear Women's Clothing, I believe. In that video, I actually talk about how I struggled with my dad on roles throughout high school. So if you are interested in checking that one out, I'll leave that up in the iCard above. That year also happened to be the year that I experienced issues with the women's bathroom. I was already presenting full-time when a security guard came to the women's bathroom door. It was a male security guard. He had heard my voice echo through the hall from the women's restroom, and he ended up writing me up, and I had to go see the principal the following day. But I have a more extensive video on that topic, also on my channel, that I'll leave right here for you guys to check out. Senior year of high school definitely was the cherry on top of my cake, in probably the best way you can possibly mean that statement. I started going by she, her pronouns and officially came out. But the summer before senior year, I actually started seeing a gender therapist and got approved to go onto hormones. So during the first few months of senior year, after I'd turned 18 that November, I decided it was time for me to start my medical transition. That year, I officially only wore feminine clothing to school. I had a bra on every single day. I wore a dress if I felt like wearing a dress, something that my dad actually restricted earlier on, which was so empowering, finally being able to do what felt right for me. Granted, I was already 18, so my dad felt he couldn't hold me back from doing what I was gonna do, which honestly was exactly what I needed. No one made fun of me. No one made me the butt of the joke. I got to live freely, and I may or may not have been just oblivious to the hatred around me, but I like to think I'm more in tune than that. I guess if you're from my high school and you know better than me, let me know. I'm curious. The final thing I need to say about senior year is that I was featured in my yearbook, and not just like, oh, cute little thumbnail talking about me in page 120, whatever. I was given a full page spread inside of the senior section, which is a true senior spotlight, where they talked about my transition and also my graphic design skills, and just my overall drive and passion for who I am. Not only did they share that page with a good paragraph worth of content, it was also the first time our yearbook had ever had a QR code system in it. And when you scan the pages, a video would pop up. Lucky for me, I had already started this YouTube channel, and my coming out video when I came out as trans was the video that populated when the page was scanned. If you're interested in checking that video out, I also have that up here for you guys as well. So fast forwarding to now, it's been about 4 years since I've graduated high school. I graduated back in 2016. One thing I have to say is I don't talk to hardly anyone from high school. Actually, I only talk to one person that I can think of, at least consistently enough to mention, and that's my best friend, and she didn't even go to my school. So I guess this is a great point in which to tell you guys my advice for those of you that are struggling through high school and might be questioning whether or not you want to come out. All I want you guys to know is don't push yourself. If you're not ready, why rush it? There's plenty of time for you to come out post high school, and if you think that'll be a safer environment for you, I definitely encourage that you wait that extra time. If you do feel the need to come out and you do feel ready and you can build a support system prior to coming out, whether that be friends, family, teachers, etc., then you should do it. Because at the end of the day, all of the people you see, all of your peers around you, trust me, they don't follow you past high school. They really disappear. After the graduation ceremony, I genuinely only talked to 5 people, and that was only for about a year. But most importantly, be yourself and be honest with yourself. Because at the end of the day, all that matters is that you come to terms with who you are and that you're happy in the skin you have. And now I'm going to have my best friend China, who I have known for 6-7 years now, something like that. I'm gonna have her come on and tell you guys how she felt about me during high school and how she perceived my experience in high school from an outside perspective. Granted, she did go to a different school, so keep that in mind, but she did go to a high school within the same district as mine, so she might even have some good advice for you all as well. Without further ado, here's China.
Howdy y'all, my name is China and I am Casey's BFF for life forever. I'm redoing that. Oh my god, that was so stupid. Okay. Hi guys, my name is China and I am Casey's BFFFL.
So, China, you knew me back in high school. Tell me a little bit about your impression of me and my experience.
Well, I was honestly very jealous. I met you when I was a sophomore, so you were a junior. And honestly, we've had very different experiences with questioning our gender, whereas she had a more pleasant time. I was more bullied. I got made fun of all over Twitter. It was pretty bad, but I didn't get any physical threats, so like, hey, awesome, right? I felt like I couldn't express myself in the same way. I also didn't know what I wanted of myself. So to see you existing in a public school setting and just being so like, just owning it 100% was so inspiring to me, and probably one of the reasons why I realized I was trans so early in my life.
Yeah, I was very public during high school. Like, it's kind of crazy. I had a YouTube channel and social media platforms where I would post. I'll leave some pictures actually here of how I looked in high school. Some of the outfits, I literally took pictures on a staircase in my high school. I literally propped my phone up on the floor, right there on the stairs, and I stood there, my Michael Kors in hand. You know, I had to. Senior year was my year. I also believe that my online appearance and persona, if you will, really drove that feeling of jealousy because, like I said, she didn't go to my school. So beyond that, what's advice that you have for others going to high school right now and maybe experiencing some difficulties with deciding on coming out or not?
Well, I'm gonna start by saying that I really regret not expressing myself more in high school. I wish I could have gone to school dances and whatever I wanted, wearing whatever I wanted, not fearing what other people say, because honestly, after high school, you really don't ever see any of those people. Like, I do not talk to a single person from my high school, and that's on period. It's cliche, but it really does get better, and none of that high school stuff will matter in the future. So my advice is to just be yourself. I know that sounds so like generic and like boring, but honestly, that's like my number one thing. If you want to look a certain way, then do it. Nothing's holding you back. Don't fear stupid people, because you're gonna get that your entire life. And if you're always restricting yourself, then you ain't gonna be happy, sis. I have nothing else to say except follow me on my social medias. I have TikTok, I have Twitter, Instagram.
If you guys enjoyed this video, please also make sure to go give me a follow on all my social media platforms as well. Instagram's my favorite, so go check that one out. If you guys aren't subscribed yet, I hope this video entices you to do so. Click that red subscribe button and that bell icon to get notified every time I upload a new video. Well, that's about all I have for you guys today. And until next time, be safe. I love you all and have a wonderful rest of your day. And that's been Kicking It Back with Casey.
Hey, Mom.